Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Broken Sword, the Smoking Mirror Remastered, the second in the series. We are back in the Ketch Museum. I suppose there's no reason to walk out. We've got a lot of stuff to click on and look at, so let's do this. Quill.
The ship looked too fragile to touch.
So let's just look at it.
It was a beautifully crafted model of a sailing ship.
Is that the Jesus ship?
It was a beautifully crafted model of a sailing ship.
No new data if you right-click it and look at it twice. Let's look at the ship's log.
It was an old book with spidery writing covering the open pages.
Let's see if we can grab the ship's
March
log.
20th, 1670 fix. Engaged frigate off San Salvador? It was garbage.
San Salvador.
Huh. I guess being a pirate didn't require too many academic qualifications. The passage went on to describe how Ketch had got wind of the approach of a fleet of English ships. It seemed the new governor had not shared his predecessor's views on Ketch's activities. They were out for his blood. Sailed to that place where I made secure my fortune. I returned safe in the knowledge that the governor shall not discover that which I had hidden. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle?
And that's actually a colloquialism that's been translated from the Bible. It was originally about causing a camel to crawl through a very small gateway on its knees, which camels are already hard to control and get to do what you want. So it's something that you certainly could do, but it would be very difficult. And so the colloquialism loses some small meaning in the translation for to pass through the eye of a needle, which is something a human couldn't possibly do unless they were liquefied, and then they have no concern about such things.
Surprise!
Hey, it's Emily. So we got this rambunctious girl running around and dancing.
What the? Who are you?
I'm Emily.
What were you doing in there, Emily?
Hiding. What are you doing here?
Grown-up stuff.
Grown-ups? I'm never gonna grow up, I'm not. You shouldn't be here. What's your name?
I'm George.
Pleased to meet you, Jaws.
George.
Jaws.
Jaws?
Jeez.
Make your mind up.
So, Emily's kind of rambunctious. We're getting another comedic character. We've had some weird additions of comedic characters, and in a game that's mostly adventure and seriousness, I think you kind of have to have serious characters that sometimes say something funny. I don't think you can really tell a great story by having funny characters in a serious story. That's just my opinion on it, though. Of course, other people could disagree. I don't feel like it works quite greatly here.
What can you tell me about Captain Ketch?
That's him on the wall, in the picture.
Yeah? Boy, that's interesting.
He was a
back there.
sailor captain. This is his house.
Let's ask about the stone.
Look, an ancient Mayan stone.
Is that a magic stone?
Well, I don't know about that.
No.
The answer should have been yes.
Would you like to play darts?
No?
Oh, come on. I'll throw, you catch.
That's dangerous. Darts will stick in me and make me bleed.
Do you know how to use a theodolite?
We don't learn anything about surveying at my school. Not until 5th grade.
Not until 5th grade? Wow.
Why don't you go play with Rio?
I'm not allowed.
How come?
'Cause Aunt Frost says I'm not allowed out of the house. That's why, Mr. Nosy Beak.
Too bad. Why don't you ask your other aunt if you can play with Rio?
Aunt Mina's cuckoo. Aunt Frost says so. She says when the Lord handed out common sense, Aunt Mina was off getting double portions of chin.
Making fun of her being fat.
That Rio's a smart kid. He helped me outwit Bronson.
Rio is clever. He can spit ever so far.
There is a Monkey Island point-and-click adventure game where you actually end up in a spitting contest, and you have to figure out how to win the contest. I don't know why that reference made me think of that, I guess, because she said he could spin ever so far.
That looked
I don't
like
think
that's where
kids
it was
these
supposed
days
to be,
are.
so I left it there.
I don't think kids these days are that interested in their ability to spit. It was a simpler time, so we get the quill.
That might come in useful in ticklish situations.
And
What you doing, Jaws?
I'm just borrowing this feather, that's all.
Why?
I might be able to make use of it.
You gonna steal it? That's bad. I'm gonna tell on you.
No, don't do that.
Why not?
Well, because I'm not stealing, just borrowing.
take the inkwell. Take the pen
It was
holder.
firmly attached to the desk.
And so we're going to need to take the chart and probably put the chart on the desk and make a map.
Okay, I've had my hands on an historical document. Now what?
Put it on the desk. Over here.
The chart fitted exactly into the recess on the top of the desk.
What you doing now, Jaws?
Knock it off, will ya? There's something you ought to know. I don't buy cute or lost puppy. I'm putting this old map on the desk
What you doing that for, Jaws?
because it was obviously intended to fit in this recessed area.
How'd you work that out?
It's obvious.
And she's just sitting here swinging back and forth, got a wooden cross around her neck. Let's look at the portrait. Cutlass. Ship's wheel. Barrel. Got some more things to click on.
Captain Frederick Ketch, 1570. Around his neck was a cross. Maybe he was a part-time pirate. The portrait might have made a nice souvenir, but it was too large to carry.
So we need the cross, I think.
It would have
from
been
her.
easy to reach the cutlass and slip it in my pocket. It would also have been the most regrettable action of my life.
Let's see, we've got a bell.
2 bells and all's well. Pirates were cool. Hard a port, bosun. Aye, aye, Captain Stobbart. She cannot take it, Captain. My lad's dead. Abandon ship.
And I kind of enjoy Stobbart having some fun with that. He's doing a lot of serious things when the character is written as a very unserious person.
Yow! I should have known better than to put my hand in there. Grandma Stobbart had a nasty experience in a water butt once.
What's in the barrel?
It was an old wooden barrel. Maybe it was from Ketch's ship.
Alright.
It was Captain Ketch's sea chest. Its battered appearance hinted at salty tales of maritime adventure and swashbuckling. Long months at sea with a rum-sodden, mutinous crew, hardtack and scurvy. And this chest, full to the brim with Ketch's loot, pearls, diamonds, emeralds, and doubloons. On the other hand, it could have been full of spare blankets.
Let's see.
It was Captain Ketch's...
Nope. Click on this and just look in there. And let's look at the ship
It was a
again.
beautifully crafted model of a sailing ship.
And there's this red dot right here. Let's see. Can I get the cross from Emily, or do I need the cross?
Why don't you run along and play?
Aunt Mina told me. Stay out of mischief.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to stay indoors, does it? On a beautiful day like today?
There's a storm coming.
Oh, nuts. You don't know that.
I do so. I can see the whole world from the window.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm busy.
Let's ask about the cross.
That cross you're wearing, Emily,
It's my lucky Jesus cross.
it's just like the one Captain Ketch wore.
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow it?
Uh-uh.
Come on, please.
What would you trade for that cross, Emily?
A puppy.
Well, I don't happen to have a puppy in my pocket right now. Can you think of anything else you'd trade?
Don't know.
Let's try different things. How about a statue? Take 5
She wouldn't have
seconds to
been interested.
load the "she wouldn't be interested" response.
She wouldn't have been interested.
And you can see it really is loading it, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't take this long every time.
She wouldn't have been interested.
Although, it seems to still take a lot of time.
She wouldn't have been interested.
Tripod.
She wouldn't have been interested.
Shiny.
She wouldn't have been interested.
Seriously, come on, give it a stone.
There were several things I wanted to say to that awful kid, but I held my tongue.
And say, why is he calling her awful? I don't get that.
She wouldn't have been interested.
Let's grab the lantern. That's another item.
Holding that lantern, I felt kinda biblical. Like Jesus or Florence Nightingale.
Why is Florence Nightingale biblical? Alright, put it on the pin holder. Lantern. Doesn't work on the pin holder. Maybe it works on the inkwell. Yes, it does.
The lantern fitted so precisely in the inkwell, it could only be deliberate.
And so we need the
What you doing
cross
now?
Grown-up stuff.
to put
I
in the
doubt
pin
that.
holder.
I've put the lantern in the inkwell. See? It fits.
Why?
Because it was cut to fit.
Why?
Because sneaky old Captain Ketch made it that way.
Why?
What is with all the questions?
'Cause I'm interested.
Why?
'Cause I have the insatiable curiosity of the young.
Why?
All right. Truce.
Right. So, feather, pin holder.
Before you ask, I've put the feather back. Are you happy now?
Don't you want to steal it anymore?
For the last time, I didn't steal it.
That's your word against mine, and I'm the one with the dimples.
Let's look at the desk now.
The desk had obviously been cut to fit the chart. Or maybe vice versa.
Oh, the chart was cut to fit
That
the
looked
desk?
like that's where it was supposed to be. So I left it there.
Right. We need a puppy, I suppose, and we're at 64%. Let's go out here and see if we can get a puppy. Do we need
The
the
novelty
inner tube?
value of having an inner tube in my pocket had worn off. I left it there.
And nothing with the ladder, nothing with the flagpole. I guess Bronson is gone. There is a net over here, and I suppose maybe they'll give us the net now.
I didn't want a fishing net.
So this is all the same section as before. They just locked it down so that we weren't as possibly overwhelmed with items and interactive things. Let's ask about Emily.
What do you give to a small, irritating girl who asks about everything?
Try a conch. Delicate colors, interesting shape, and when you put it to your ear, you can hear the sea.
Yeah, why's that?
Usually because you're standing next to it.
Cool. Have you got one?
Yeah, but I promised it to my sister. She well vexed with me.
Your sister is vexed with you? What?
Why is your sister mad with you?
Well, last night when
mad
we got
with
home
you.
with our supper, she went wild. Rio, she said, how come all you ever catch is puffer fish? A sicker puffer fish. What I want is tiger fish. So don't bother come back home till you catch one, boy. I don't see how I'm gonna catch no tiger fish. All I have is a fishing pole and a worm.
So what do you need to catch a tiger fish?
What do you need to catch a tiger fish?
One of them real fancy flies like the rich fishermen use.
Okay. So let's give this to him and see if this works.
What you got there?
I didn't think the kid would be interested in that.
Seriously? Maybe give this to him.
What you got there?
I didn't think the kid'd be interested in that.
So this with this.
No.
A fancy fly. Let's grab the net. Maybe now we can get that and get a tiger fish.
I didn't want a fishing net.
You still don't want a fishing net. Interesting. Come on, game. You're really acting obscurely here. Maybe I go talk to Emily about it. Maybe there is a fly fish or a tiger fish or something I can get from that. I could talk to the cat, I suppose.
I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws.
So back into the door. Now the outside of this building, by the way, looks nothing like the inside, which I guess probably implies that this is further back. Let's go talk to Emily first and see if she knows how to.
There were
get a
several
tiger
things
fish.
I wanted to say to that awful kid, but I held my tongue.
Is there something in the barrel?
It was an old wooden barrel.
Stick our hand back in it.
Whatever lived in that barrel could stay there as far as I was concerned.
Is it a tiger fish? Maybe in the barrel? Did that work? No. How about this? This? There's nothing through the window. Nothing in the portrait. In the cutlass. And the bell. I may have to ask for a hint.
It would have been easy to reach the cutlass and slip it in my pocket. It would also have been the most regrettable action of my life.
Like,
2 bells and all's well. Pirates were cool.
let's look at the bell.
It was a ship's bell. It was the portrait of Captain Ketch.
And see, either way
It
you
was the
click,
portrait of
left or
Captain
right
Ketch.
click, it tells you the
The
same
portrait
thing.
might have made a nice souvenir, but it was too large to carry.
Ship's wheel, spin that some more. Let's just look at our inventory and see if there's anything here that makes sense. Quill. Maybe I take the quill back. Maybe that's what I need. No comment there, so I guess we go give that. It's quite a long journey here. Going back and forth, I should probably double check. But it's impossible to check. He may just want the quill. He may want me to tie the quill into the poison dart. He may want the reflective piece too. So let's try this first.
What you got there?
Wait.
Any use for a quill?
What's a quill?
It's what people used to write with in Captain Ketch's days.
No, man. I'd sooner be fishing.
So that doesn't work. Try this with this.
Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Come on, this
That
and this.
wouldn't work. That
This and
was
this.
no good.
Let's just try giving him
What you got
everything.
there?
I didn't think the kid'd be interested in that.
Let's talk to him.
There was nothing else I wanted to ask the boy.
Seriously? Really? Rio has a conch that I might be able to get from Emily, but he wants me to get him a fishing fly. Give me a hint. Hint 1. Look for something which the fishing fly can be made. Okay. Got that much. Take the quill from the desk in the museum. Okay, we did that. That's what I figured. Give the feather to the cat. Seriously? How was anybody supposed to figure that one out? This is ridiculous. I don't even know what the cat's gonna do. This is the problem with so many point-and-click adventure games. Even ones I've played before. I know I've played this game before. Which means I know I've either looked up or found the solution to these puzzles before. And they are so beyond the realm of reasonable thinking and reality that it doesn't help
The cat
at all.
made short work of the feather, tearing it into a blizzard of small pieces.
So now feather shards, I suppose. Like, who would have even thought of that?
Not such a good idea.
Maybe this?
I don't think so.
Well, we've now got this feather shards, which maybe I can make a lure out of? Or maybe I just give it to Rio. Even using the hint system doesn't get me back on track. It just took me one step further, and still I am in this bottomless pit of confusion. Uncertainty about what's going to
What you got
happen
there?
when
Hey,
you
this
make
is
an
just
action.
what you need to
does
make a
not
fly.
work in video games or any
Thanks.
interactive
Let's hope
medium.
them tiger
frankly.
fish hungry. A deal's a deal. Here's a conch.
And see, that's like, I wouldn't have expected that to work. I would have never thought of giving the feather to the cat. We're at 66% done with the game, and we still have not really done anything with the smoking mirror or the mines that we were shown doing the sacrifices at the beginning of the game. Way too much of this game is just other actions. If we had started at the very beginning and we had been tied up and they said, we must get the stones, and then we investigated the stones for like an hour, and then we spent the rest of the game trying to collect the stones, that would make a lot of sense. And we did have a stone at the very beginning, but we had no idea what that meant or what it was for. And for hours and hours and hours, over half the game, like, no idea what we're doing or
Here,
why we're doing
I've got a
it.
conch. Would you like it?
Dunno. Aunt Frost told me never to take presents from strange men.
I'm not a strange man.
Then why are you called Jaws? Jaws? That's a stupid name.
I'm not called... Look, conch, pretty. Swap for the cross, yes or no? Right, this thing's going out the window.
Okay. We'll do swapsies.
Alright, and now we have the cross, and the cross goes in the pin holder almost certainly, and this may just trigger a cutscene.
Ketch's cross slipped snugly into the pen holder. Before you ask, I've put your cross in this little hole in the desk.
Why?
Impulse mainly, with a dash of irrational intuition.
Silly. Only women have intuition.
The lantern cast a strong light over the desktop. The light cast a shadow of the cross.
And the
And
cross
the shadow
makes an
fell
X.
precisely over a small, unnamed island shaped like a skull.
Oh, that doesn't really... Oh, I guess from the side it looks kind of like a skull.
That must be it. Ketch's Treasure Island.
Uh-oh. That's Zombie Island. It's a bad place.
No kidding? Well, bad place or not, that's my next port of call.
Can I come too?
The hell you can.
I never get to leave the house.
Yep, that's a shame. So 68% now, and we've probably been playing maybe 6 hours at most, probably less than that, 5 hours and 30 minutes if I was to guess, for real actual gameplay. I left the game running at one point. Let's see, we have a couple of items we haven't used, and then several items that we have used. So I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't much as far as a puzzle or anything when we leave this section. But we might run into another section where we play as Nicole, and that would be nice, I suppose. She really hasn't done a ton. She's just had 2 very static scenes with very little to actually do. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.